What does your husband do? A seemingly innocuous question asked by a perfectly average-looking mom at the dance school where I was taking my 7-year-old stepdaughter for her first tap dancing lesson. My mind raced to a frequent dinner conversation at our house. How out do you have to be? Usually followed by the example of the day. Kids on the playground saying, "That's so gay," comments by politicians about the gay agenda, subtle pressure from lesbian friends to march in various parades or show up at the Capitol. This time, I knew the question would come, and I was prepared to answer. I was doing this, taking my daughter to her dance class as myself. A well-rehearsed, my partner is her mother, and she's a psychologist, followed by an exhale that was a little too audible. I'm not sure why Daria wanted to tap dance, but I guessed it had something to do with the shoes. At the time, I probably couldn't have answered questions about why it became so important to me. I just knew that it was vital to give her the chance to tap around our house with shiny black, noisy shoes. Looking back, the reasons why are clear. Role definition, unmet childhood wishes, and I really wanted to be a mom. I pushed for the dance lessons at the Hanukkah after we all moved into our house together. I had been involved with Judy for a year and a half, and the kids were definitely a part of the package. Just about to turn 5, 7, and 9 when we bought our home together. Moving in with everyone freaked me out. I read lots of books on blending families. I found some solace when I learned that many stepmoms struggle with the role of the family. At the time, there wasn't a single book that added the extra twist of being a lesbian stepmom. I was determined to figure this out. Enter tap dance. I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, in a very Lutheran, one mom, one dad, one younger brother family. I looked pretty much the same as I do now, except smaller. In my heart of hearts, I was a dancer. I periodically asked my mom if I could go to dance classes. She usually smiled kindly and pragmatically said some combination of 1, they cost a lot of money, 2, I wasn't very graceful, and 3, I didn't have the right build. As for being a mom, it was no secret I had spent my whole life wanting to be a mom. I certainly had the desire and the skills. The execution was, well, tricky. There was way more disappointment and patience required in real life than in my imagination. I did not know that dragging your children around town to various lessons is a part of the initiation process. So I did it. I pushed for the lessons with Judy. I called her ex-husband to make sure it was okay with him for me to transport Daria to and from tap dance, even if it was his night. I toured a few dance studios. I interviewed the instructors, being especially careful to find a place where she wouldn't be too much older than the other tappers, given it was her first class. I was careful to juggle my work schedule so I could leave earlier to pick her up and bring her home again. I bought a few leotards from a secondhand store and lovingly washed them out. I wrapped them up and couldn't wait until she opened the gift. When she did open the leotards and we told her we would be taking her to tap dancing lessons, she was excited, sort of. "Where are the shoes?" she said. We got the shoes. I began the routine of picking her up with a snack and drink and practice clothes. She generally enjoyed the time together and seemed to do just fine in the class. I think she imagined herself as one with great hidden talent, and sometimes all the tedious practicing was just holding her back. As the dance recital approached, 2 things became clear. 1, those little yellow polka dot costumes have a great deal of detail and cost a lot of money. And 2, Daria's secret tap dancing talent was hidden. I had one particular conversation with her teacher where she suggested Daria talk less and practice more. This feedback was not unfamiliar to me in my own life, as one who also possesses a talented inner dancer. I bristled, hopefully without the teacher noticing. I signed up Daria for a couple of individual lessons, which were successful, and crossed my fingers that she would be okay. The day of the recital, I went to battle. We had been quite the parenting team, Judy, myself, and her ex-husband. We tried hard to put the kids first. We didn't want them to feel any more uncomfortable than necessary, given the divorce, the nature of our family, and all the weekly transitions. We all went to baseball games, chatting amiably, even sharing food on occasion. At high holiday services or school performances, we generally sat in the same row. Ex-husband, child, Judy, me. Not this time, though. I wanted my own experience. I wanted to watch Daria with my own eyes. I wanted to be unencumbered and released my observing ego as I looked for her sweet little face in that absurd, adorable yellow costume. Judy protested, told me I'd have to explain to everyone why I was sitting somewhere different. I didn't care. I sat as far away as I could, given it was a small auditorium. I didn't have long to wait. As you all probably know, beginners go near the beginning. Daria tapped out and scanned the audience, spotting and waving to her parents first. She continued to scan further until she found me. She was nervous, but gave me a big smile. I bravely smiled back, and for the first time felt tears rolling down my cheeks. There she was, my girl tap dancing. And there I was, her mom.